Woodward, and I play Mark Cohen.
I'm Kevin Dunaway, and I play Benny.
I'm Kim Goosen, and I play Amy.
I'm Oliver Norcombe, and I'm in the ensemble.
Hi, I'm Ella Braith, and I play Joanne.
And I'm Lyndon Dunn, and I play Angel Mark Chenard.
I'm Lauren Davidson, I'm in the ensemble.
And I'm Krista Thayer, I'm also in the ensemble.
I feel like this is one of those shows that is on most people's bucket list to do. I loved it ever since, I'm sorry Kevin, ever since I saw the movie, because I saw that first. The moment that made me fall in love with it was actually the I'll Cover You reprise. I've just wanted to be a part of it ever since.
I knew this show front to back, word for word, back in high school. It was just one of those different pieces of art when you're, in high school in the early 2000s. There's not a lot of Rent-esque things that you have access to, and I think it just made it that much more desirable to want to be a part of.
For me, it was actually my dream role because I saw someone, a person of color, who was Latina in the movie, and I was like, oh my god, there are people like me that do shows. This show was what jump-started me starting to do musical theater.
I didn't really know if I was going to do musical theater again, because it's been a few years, but I just figured that it would be fun to be a part of this, and I'm really glad that I did.
I really love Rent. I did a production at my senior year of high school after I just moved to a new city. I really found a lot of community through that experience, and I think that it being a show about community is so important to me, and so having the opportunity to kind of revisit again later in life and at a different stage in life was just a really important thing that I thought would be a good experience for me to have.
I was a senior in high school, and me and my friends had the DVD, and we watched that thing constantly. And I thought that Angel was so fierce, and she was so cool, and I wanted to be her so bad. One day, Kevin was coming through my place of employment and was like, hey, we're having callbacks for the show. And I was like, dang, what show? And he was like, Rent. And I was like, oh, I wish I could make it. He was like, send us a video. I was like, okay, let's do it, cool.
See, I'm an outlier who was never a huge fan of Rent before this show. I know,
Okay.
but Rent was the first musical I've ever known. So that's why it's really, really important to me, because it's one of the shows that got me into theater. I was never a theater kid, and then I listened to Rent and I was like, ooh.
I think from this show, one of the obvious things people are going to talk about is going to be La Vie Boheme. Though, like I said before, the I'll Cover You reprise, I feel like is definitely going to sit with people for sure. Yeah.
I think and I hope what people will take away from this show, the thing that will kind of stay with them, one, just the impact that the show still has, as well as how much talent we have locally to be able to put on a challenging show like this. I think people will be very pleasantly surprised at how much talent we do have in the Cincinnati area.
One other one that I think it's funny you guys didn't mention is Contact.
Live, laugh, love, contact.
I like to believe personally that another part of the show that everybody's going to be talking about is Christmas bells, because I just think it's really cool how all these different parts of the story just come together, and it's both chaos, it's also kind of a masterpiece.
I don't think there's a standout moment, but I'll tell you what, I think there are some standout costumes. I'm a sucker for costuming to begin with, in the show especially. There's so many moments where I watch people walk on stage and I'm just like, that is it.
The other thing that's big for me, my favorite number in this show, is Halloween, because it's so drama, so escándalo, it's so it's so great. I love it so much.
I think they're just going to be talking about the overall energy of the show, the energy that this whole cast brings. You can just tell that everyone has so much passion throughout the whole show.
I'm gonna be an outlier. I'll Cover You reprise. That's yes. That will be the moment. That will be the moment.
My heart.
It celebrates everybody who might not normally get celebrated. We're just listing all these different marginalized communities and peoples that we are, as the characters in the show, lifting up and trying to bring attention to. Everybody is practically welcome in Bohemia.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the reason that it still is so powerful and so popular is the message of inclusion, of acceptance, of finding your own family.
All of these people come together and find friendship together.
This show is even more relevant now than it was 30 years ago. I mean, what are some of the most important things talked about in the show? Exclusivity versus inclusivity, poverty, addiction, police brutality. And I feel like that it's really going to reach people even more today.
I mean, I really think it's about community. I think that's the essence of the show, is like finding community and finding found family. And that's something that I think everyone deserves to hear and learn about, especially our youth, especially like our young queer people, our young minorities. Like, it is so important knowing the value and like finding the people that are your family, even if they're not by blood.
It covers so many topics that are still relevant to things that are happening in our world now.
I think Ella's totally right. Like, that is the essence of this show, especially finding community for people who are typically like outcasts and typically might not be accepted by society. And while there might be like different struggles today, we're still seeing a lot of that same like prejudice against different groups of people. I think it's still super
Stop
important
bullying
today.
the gays.
That.
Stop it. Stop it.